Hey, hello, Connor. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. It's always fun to have a chat with you. You know that.
Yeah, no, I've been really looking forward to this. Really looking forward to dissecting everything and just having a good old music chat with you.
First of all, congratulations for a few things. You just released your track "Set Me Free," and also you became the Artist of the Year at NMG Awards, was it?
Yeah, crazy. Everyone worked so hard at this, and to receive an award, it just felt really nice. It was my first award I've ever won in music.
When you released "Set Me Free," for me it was so different. When I was listening, I couldn't even recognize you. I was like, "Wow,
Oh,
This is
cool.
this is very different because I remember when we were having conversations about the EP, you were saying that you have more music already recorded, and then that pandemic kind of period that you were creating a lot of stuff that's going to be released in the future. So when you really
Mm.
set me free, I had no idea what to expect because I wasn't really sure which way you're going to go. So tell me first of all more about the song, how it was born. Do you remember what was happening in your life when you were writing it, and the journey of the song from the moment it was born to the moment of the release?
When I released that Devil of the Night record in September, we were in that lockdown period, and we'd been in them lockdowns all year. Um, So I'd done so much writing, the most writing I'd ever done, hundreds of songs, and Set Me Free, to be fair, was probably in the first 20 songs that I'd written. Um, and the Devil of the Night record was so dark and moody and really like heavy hitting musically and lyrically. I I carried that on throughout the first like 10 songs, and then I just really wanted to change things up. It was a beautiful day, like it is today. The sun was shining. I'd been going out for walks and getting fresh air and everything like that. And I just wanted to write something that felt like a breath of fresh air and felt really different and something that people could sing along to, something anthemic and kind of set me free was born really, really quick. I had that song and it sounded completely different, as you mentioned, to anything else that I'd ever done. So it was always really special. It was always in my head that okay, this is probably going to be like a standalone single. I can't imagine it being attached to anything. Might be wrong, but I'm going to hold on to this until we get out of lockdown and the restrictions are lifted, and then I'm going to chuck it out there almost as like a as it really helped me, but for everyone else as well. Like I want people to celebrate when they listen to this song. It should be played when they're back with their mates having a barbecue, or they're out and about again, or they're in the car with their windows down driving to see their mates or family. This is like a celebration, and the lead up to releasing it is always so strange because for the past probably 9 months or so, or whatever it is, this song was only heard by me and my writing team and my family, and I'd play it on every road trip and now and then through my headphones at home. And the moment you release it, it kind of feels like it isn't mine anymore. It's everyone else's. So I don't listen to it anymore. I let everybody else listen to it.
I remember one thing from our previous conversations, which is very unique about you, that you said that you never play songs that are unreleased live
Mm,
because you don't want to ruin the experience of the first time hearing the full production. This is still the case. I saw you live earlier this year in London.
mm.
You didn't play Set Me Free, even though that was already live. It was like, what, a few months ago, right?
It's the literally the day after that I shot the music video. So all I wanted to do was talk about Set Me Free, but I
You
just
didn't
didn't.
even say anything.
No, I don't want to, just because I knew that when was that? Was that June or July?
So it was the first time you did that gig because you went there twice this year, right? So I think it,
Yeah,
it might have
ages
been,
away.
oh yeah, it feels like ages. It might have been May or June actually.
Exactly. So like imagine me announcing on stage, oh yeah, I'm going to record my music video tomorrow. It's called Set Me Free, blah blah blah. And then you have to wait 3 or 4 months for it to actually come out. It just takes the sting away. Even
Yeah.
me playing it, if I would have played it live there as much as I wanted to with me and my acoustic guitar, and then you'd have to wait 3 weeks, and then Semi Free comes out, and you've already kind of heard it, but you haven't heard it with the full band. I just wanted, like, we spend so much time and money, to be fair, on these records when we record it. The first time people listen to my music, I want it to be the studio version. I want it to be either in the headphones or in the car or whatever they're going to listen to it through. I don't want it to be off someone's iPhone where they've recorded it on like bits of it at a show or something. I just really think it takes the sting away, and I get really excited. Like whenever my favorite artists release something I haven't heard it before, and you keep hearing little teasers throughout the week, that just really excites me for when Friday comes around. It's in the morning, I'll whack the headphones on and go, oh my God, having that first listen through the headphones of something that you've never heard before from one of your favorite artists. I just get so excited about it.
There's one thing about you that really fascinates me, that you have your shit together when it comes to putting music out there. The production, the sound, the voice, the visuals, even the way you manage your socials. You're such an incredible example, and I share your Instagram with other musicians saying that, look, you need to check what this guy is doing, because you will then see what type of content you need to create and how to tease the releases and how to put stuff together. Because it's not enough just, oh, I'm releasing a song today. It's like, that doesn't work. You really need to build up to that. So um, how does that work for you? Because I know that it's partially going to be what you're going to be talking about at our event as well.
Yeah.
But like with every single release, do you still follow kind of the same? Like, do you have like a plan, and then you just like tick the boxes, or you adjust and improve, like build on that? How does like, what works best for you?
So I'm gonna really dive into depth and great detail in your event in October, which I'm really looking forward to. By the way, can't wait for that. It's gonna be real fun. But yeah, the campaigns and the release strategies have been something that I used to not enjoy, but now I've grown to love. Just because I've especially with the Devil of the Night record, it was kind of my second time really like putting together a campaign, and then to see it pay off when it happened was like, oh my God, thank God that all this work actually paid off. And each time you do it, you adapt, and social media is always changing as well. Like for instance, when I released the Devil of the Night record, reels weren't happening and TikTok wasn't as big. It was big, but it wasn't like it is now, dominating. So now a lot of the content around the Set Me Free have been molded to reels and TikTok. And yeah, I just spend a lot of time on it. As I mentioned, I started the campaign. I recorded the song in May. I filmed all the promo, all the music videos, and everything in June. And then I put from June till September the 3rd, from the lead up of it coming out, was just really going to town on the campaign and making sure everything was in order. We have a diary of each day of what bit of content comes out, from the main feed to the stories to even just tweets and YouTube and everything. So it's all planned, it's all thought about, and yeah, with Devil of the Night, it being a 6-track EP, there was a lot more planning around it, obviously, because there's 5 more songs. But Set Me Free has been really fun because I can just focus on one song, and all the visuals are just for one song, all the content's for one song. It doesn't feel as overwhelming. I feel like as a unsigned act that manages everything themselves, having 6 tracks to kind of, you want to get everybody's attention on is very overwhelming. So I'm definitely going to lean towards just the single releases until we get a bigger team around me, because I feel like you need a lot of people spinning a lot of plates if you want to get attention on 6 songs as opposed to 1, or even 10 songs if people are doing albums.
Yeah, and there's one advice that I give to musicians who are have a lot of music to share, and they're like, oh, I'm putting out an album, and I'm like, you have 20 people who listen to you on Spotify. You don't need an album. I know that your ego needs an album, but trust me, you don't need an album. Like, it's you can only release it once. And I've
Yeah.
seen quite a few artists, in the time of Indie Top 39 blog, who released albums too early, and then they
Mm,
removed all the whole catalog, a year or years later, and then they
mm,
removed everything that they released because they're like, oh, it was too soon, or it wasn't the
mm,
right way of doing it, and so on. For me, what really fascinates me that, as you said, like you've written hundreds of songs, during the lockdown and everything. And I guess then the hardest part is just like picking and choosing which song goes where, as a single, as an EP, as an album, as a B-side or whatever, and or maybe even giving away to someone else if that potentially can be the case as well. I think now it's like what 1 year and a half that we know each other, and I think we
mm.
met just before the lockdown. Actually, it was February. I mean, virtually met because of your music.
Yeah, it's
Um,
Don't Play with the Heart, I think, the
yeah,
first
yeah,
single. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and what a single it is to discover you with.
Well,
It's not
thanks,
your
man.
first single, but for me it was. And
Oh, cool.
to this date, it's really like a statement of a track. And I think that Set Me Free kind of really builds on the energy that you are, I would say, famous for. Because you have the energy that can wake you up in a very good way, with your music and especially when you perform on stage. I've told you many times, I'm looking forward to the moment when you're going to be, filling up arenas because that's your place. Like you
That's the
have
dream,
that,
man.
and and I think that what you're doing right now, everything is leading up to that. So it's a long road, but you're not alone.
Yeah,
That's the thing. You know that you
that's
have a
very
lot of
kind,
people
man.
around you.
Thank you. Yeah, I always felt, well, so far up to like just touching on the subject of that big energy and then big sounds, I kind of each single I've released has always been that big energy and that big sound, but just because I am an unsigned artist and I don't have a massive following. It is growing, which is fantastic. But I always feel like I do need to make that statement, so I do that throughout the singles. But I am looking forward to one day just releasing quite a chilled song, quite a chilled single, where even if that's just me and the acoustic guitar or me on the piano or whatever. I mean, it doesn't, we don't have to grab a people. There's more ways to grab people's attention than it being a full band big production song. But it's what I enjoy to play. It's like Set Me Free was just obvious that was the single, especially with what we've just been through. This Set Me Free could only come out right now. I don't want to release it next year. I didn't want to release it after that. There's no relevance there. I just wanted to release it in September whilst everything's literally the live scene's just come back to life. um, Normal life's just come back to life, and it's just a real yeah. It just needed to come out in September. We originally had it planned for the first lift, which was June or July. I can't remember what it was, but obviously got pushed back. I might be wrong on the dates there.
Hmm.
Um, so we just kept rescheduling. Seems to be the way in the music business. You plan to release something, then I've got always in my head, I imagine 6 months later, and then that'll be actually when it comes out.
It's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
now it's finally out. So, as you said,
Yes,
it doesn't
feels
belong
good.
to you anymore. And, you
No,
know, I think that the beauty with music is that now it's up to everyone to connect with the song and just to find their own way of interpreting what it means to them. So, and that's the beauty of it. So, I'm super thrilled. We will always be following your journey, you know that. And
no, I really appreciate
thank
it,
you,
man.
thank you for this time chatting as well.